Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. From Pakistan School Salala, Mrs. Aram Shahid is here to give you a video lesson for unit number 8, grade 7, General Science. In this video lesson for unit number 8, Respiration, you will be able to see that how animals they can respire without oxygen. So how can they be able to produce energy without oxygen? And that is also called as anaerobic respiration. And how does it work? We will see its equation. We will see examples of anaerobic respiration in animals, and also we will be able to read the lesson from the book and then from page number 99, and we'll be able to solve test yourself on page number 100. So dear students, you can be able to understand that animals they can be respiring both aerobically means in the presence of oxygen they will respire, and anaerobically without oxygen. So when they respire aerobically, they will use oxygen to release energy from the food, because they will break down food, that is carbohydrates and fats, into a smaller components, glucose, and the glucose is broken down by the help of oxygen that you inhaled from the air. In your body, the glucose from your food is broken by oxygen into carbon dioxide, water, and a lot of energy. So aerobically you will be using oxygen. All animals they will be using oxygen to give energy from the food. And in aerobic respiration, sometimes it happens that aerobic respiration will not fulfill the requirement of energy, especially when we are doing some hectic work. So then animals need some anaerobic respiration, or when there is a less supply of oxygen in the air, animals if not respire, they will die. So definitely they will start respiration with anaerobic means without oxygen. Again, the glucose from the food is broken down without oxygen, and the animals can do this respiration as well. So you can see that there are certain examples for aerobic respiration and anaerobic for animals. Walking is an aerobic exercise in which the body gets enough oxygen for aerobic respiration, and energy is produced, that is supply for the need during walking. So respiration is enough to produce energy to walk. Aerobic respiration is giving enough energy to walk. So example for aerobic respiration is walking. During walking, animals or human beings and you also respire aerobically. And what happens during running very fast? What happens, it is an example of anaerobic respiration. It is anaerobic exercise. No matter how fast a person breathes or their heart beats, the body cannot get enough oxygen for aerobic respiration. This time anaerobic respiration supplies the energy needed. Unfortunately, there is a limit of aerobic respiration, and let's see what is that limit. Dear students, you can see equation of respiration. So when glucose it respire without oxygen, it produces a chemical that is lactic acid, and that is a limit. If there is a lot of lactic acid accumulated in the body, it will cause pain in your body, and that is, it can produce fatigue in your muscles. So lactic acid, and one more you can say limitation for anaerobic respiration is that glucose, when breakdowns in the absence of oxygen, it will produce lactic acid, and the energy is less. so that cannot fulfill the demand. So with oxygen, a lot of energy is produced, that is in aerobic respiration. So in anaerobic respiration, respiration without oxygen, glucose is being broken down without oxygen and is converted into a chemical lactic acid. And in aerobic, glucose with oxygen is changed into carbon dioxide, energy, and water. And here a lot of energy is given, that is helpful in all doing all body work. Here is a proper equation for word equation to remember or to represent anaerobic respiration. There is a word equation: glucose without oxygen is broken down into a chemical lactic acid, and a small amount of energy is given out. Here's an interesting fact that the fitter you are, quicker you recover after vigorous exercise. Because when you are doing a vigorous exercise, if you are not fit enough, you will not be able to recover, because vigorous exercise results in a lot of lactic acid in the muscles and they fatigue, and then you feel pain in your muscle cells. So if you are fitter enough, then you can easily that lactic acid is being utilized in the body, and that is called as your recovery time. So here you see, when you finish your lesson, you will be doing it reading again and again of page number 99. Then you will be able to solve questions written on page 100 of your book, that is in Test Yourself, then question number 1. So you'll be able to answer them quickly. So first you will read, you will mark answers on the book, and then you will just compare your answers with this video lesson and with the notes given to you. So here's a question number 1, that is explain the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Here in this question only you need to define aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. You can also give its example as well. The kind of respiration in which oxygen is used to release energy from food is called aerobic respiration, and respiration which takes place without oxygen is called as anaerobic respiration. We are provided with the question number 2 in Test Yourself, page number 100. That is, write a word equation for anaerobic respiration. And from this video lesson and from your book, you can easily write the word equation, that is glucose plus lactic acid. It gives you glucose is changed into lactic acid and without oxygen, and then if we use oxygen, then it will be glucose is changed into carbon dioxide and water and small amount of energy. So glucose without oxygen changes to lactic acid, and lactic acid is accumulated in the muscle cells, and when it is being utilized, it also gives carbon dioxide and water and a small amount of energy. That is anaerobic respiration. Going to answer for question number 3 of your Test Yourself from your book, that is give one example of an aerobic exercise and one example of an anaerobic exercise. So first we will see aerobic exercise. Its example is walking, and anaerobic example is running very fast. So when running very fast, cell cannot produce a lot of energy that is given by aerobic exercise. So when the breathing rate is increased, so cells started respiring anaerobically, because oxygen supply is reduced, so that cells they started respiration by anaerobic means when running very fast. So question number 4 is actually you can say is a summary of all the lesson that we have did right now. So we need to use diagram to explain why less energy is released during anaerobic respiration than during anaerobic respiration. It's again a comparison. Already we have studied about their definition, Aerobic is respiration with oxygen, and anaerobic is respiration without oxygen. It will give its products are lactic acid and less energy. Its products are carbon dioxide, water, and uh, a lot of energy. So let's have a summary in the diagrammatic form. Yes, here you can see in aerobic respiration, food as you take like carbohydrates and fats, they are being digested and changed into a smaller components, glucose, and then oxygen you respire, and that is being in the cell inside the mitochondria. Energy is given out, and that is a lot of energy over here. In aerobic respiration, carbon dioxide and water is produced. But in case of anaerobic respiration, food, it's same as over here, that is glucose, that is a digested product of carbohydrates and fats. So you can see that this glucose in the absence of oxygen will give lactic acid and less energy. After some it is converted into carbon dioxide and water. But this middle stage, you can see here, the energy production stage, here energy in mitochondria is produced in less amount when glucose is changed into lactic acid without oxygen. So here is the difference, or you can say comparison, and then the diagrammatic form, how we can explain that there is a difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Thank you, dear students, for watching lesson. Watch this lesson again and again, read your book, and then you will be able to answer all the questions given in book. And also try to make MCQs so that it can just enhance your concept and learning as well. Thank you very much.